Hey everyone, it's the TheAngryHoneyBadger, and it is time to take a look at another champion build video. Today I am playing as Orianna in the mid lane. That's where I typically like to take Orianna because I like to play her as an AP caster. I know she can be played as a support role, and it does work fairly well, I will admit. Even when I do go AP caster role in the middle with Orianna, you still have some great utility to still be a caster and still be able to support your team very well. So here I'm going to get an early gank from Shaco, be able to hit her with a couple abilities and slow her down. He's going to use his ghost and everything he has to get in there. He's going to pick up the first blood. I'm going to take a tower hit here for 1,000,000 points. That really hurt. But he picked up that first blood. She did get a kill too, but I did get an assist out of that, so that will help me coming up to get my first item. At level 1, I do typically like to start with boots and pots. It's the safe bet. I'm not even going to really use any of those pots because I'm just going to try to go back to base here because I know I need to go heal. While I am back at base, I'm going to start building towards my first item. I'm not going to have enough for it yet, but I wanted to heal to make sure. But the first item I try to go back and fully buy is a Chalice of Harmony. It is a fantastic item on Orianna, mostly because to gain dominance in your lane, you need to be able to use your abilities quite often. So at level 1, I do take her Q ability, which is her command attack. This sends her ball out. She always keeps it over her head unless she is out of range, and then once she gets out of range, it comes back to her. But she sends her ball out to target location or wherever she wants. It does deal damage, and it does deal magic damage, in case you do not know. There I send it out, and then I also did the next thing, which is her Dissonance. And I did hit her with that. So I got another Shaco gank right here. Jarvan shows up. He's going to get the... Or no, I'm going to get the kill with my Ignite on her. He unfortunately dies because their... jungler Jarvan came out and he was able to kill Shaco again, but Shaco and me have a really good game during this match. We both do quite well, and he's gonna start destroying people and I'm gonna start helping him, and it's some good stuff. They actually have two different games in this video. This game's incredibly fast because we kind of put this team in the dirt really quickly with some kind of surprise attacks and just some organization that the other team just didn't quite have. They kind of ran into a few unlucky situations. Here's one of them. Shaco is currently trying to escape with hardly any health. He's going to bait him up through here. I'm going to throw my command ball in there. I'm going to use my ultimate and use Dissonance to kill both of them and pick up a nice, easy double kill while Shaco escapes again from them. So that does happen a few times in this game. It's going to definitely help me out. That other time was back. I'm still building more items. I did pick up that Chalice of Harmony, which is going to give me basically never-ending mana supply. The more mana you are missing, the more mana regeneration you get. It's based off of a percentage. And then I also get a little bit of magic resist, which is never a bad thing while you're in mid lane, because most people in mid lane, except for the exceptions of Talon, for the most part that you see mid lane, all deal magic damage, so that will also help me negate damage. I did also pick up an Amplifying Tome, and I just went back that last time and finished off my boots. Now, I do typically go with cooldown reduction boots because this build really gets Orianna to the point where she can use her abilities as fast as often and as much as often. You need some of these things to be able to do that. You need the cooldown boots, and you will need what I am building with my Chalice of Harmony. I am building first off and right away in Athena's Unholy Grail. It's going to definitely help me with all of the cooldown reduction and the mana. Here, I'm kind of keeping her left out over to the side. She kind of was getting afraid of my ball there. I'm going to use it, use my ultimate, and I have to flash there. Unfortunately, I didn't get the Ignite on her after my ult went off. I was apparently out of range or didn't go off, so I had to flash to get my Ignite on her just to finish her off. I probably could have standard attacked her too once because of my passive, which is very helpful, which I will explain if you do not know Orianna's passive. Her passive is Clockwork Wind-Up, and what that is basically your standard attacks have bonus magic damage on them based off of your current ability power. And that is very, very helpful to have. Your standard attacks are very powerful come late game, so whenever your stuff isn't up, it's not too much of a problem. Here, I am throwing my ball in and trying to put my shield on who I can to protect him. I do get it on Shaco and, you know, try to help him out best I can. And then I do pick up the kill on Lee Sin and 2 assists. Their team just is getting into some unfortunate scenarios for the most part, and we're able to kind of have the utility that they don't have. Shaco's playing tricks, and they are focusing wrong. There I did get dove by Katarina. I didn't have too much health. She ulted under the tower, and she did pick up a nice kill. But this time, while I am back at base, I am able to pick up that Athena's Unholy Grail, and I do have my cooldown boots. So right now, with the rune page that I do take, which I'll get to in a little bit, I have 146 AP right now, or around there, and that's going to be a good amount. Athena's gives you 90 AP, which is very helpful, and with those two items, I have, I think, 39% cooldown reduction, so I'm able to use my abilities a lot faster than if you didn't have any cooldown reduction, and having that Athena's, I'm basically never going to run out of mana. It is kind of hard to run out of it. I mean, you can do it, but it's not easy. It's just so much mana regeneration, especially when you get in a fight. You get all the passive kicking off of the Unholy Grail, and you just get so much mana back. You really couldn't spam through all of it, but it is a key item to have with Orianna. Here she's going to move to me. I'm going to move the ball back to me as a shield, use my ultimate to flip her around and ignite her. I am going to pick up one kill before I get completely annihilated by their team with all of them in there and Jarvan's ult. Luckily, I do pick up the kill though before I die. I tried to at least make sure I can focus the one person who initiated on me. One thing I try to do in a gank when I know I'm probably not going to be able to get away is to just use the abilities I have to kill the person who is squishiest or the one who initiated on me, because they're probably a little lower in health. So it's a nice way to try to turn around a gank, which that was. So continuing on with the build, I am building a blasting wand there. I tried to use my ultimate there. I unfortunately was unable to kill the Jarvan with it. I think he got barely out of range. Sometimes you need to kind of predict the movement of the ball that you're using. There he got a lot of kills. I got a lot more assists there, which is also very helpful. Like I said, me and this Shaco's doing a great job of ganking and doing a good job of getting ahead. And when Shaco's get ahead, it's kind of hard to stop them and slow them down. But like I said, continuing on with my build, I have picked up a blasting wand, which is going to go towards my next item. There, I'm going to pick up an assist while he murders Jarvan. I'm going to head back to lane and farm. Orianna is a great farmer once you are getting all of her mana regeneration things going with the Athenas, and you are able to poke a lot. You can kind of scare people. Katarina does an okay job there. I accidentally used my ult apparently while trying to type, which is unfortunate, but it'll be off a cooldown in 50 seconds. Another thing to note, all of the things that your ball do also have some other things on the side that happen. That was kind of a chaos. But who cares? Kill secure, see? Wrote it down right there. One thing that her ball does do, or you need to remember, is like for your W, which is when those, I want to call it, looks like the blades pop out of it, you'll see it there. When your teammates walk through it, or whenever you walk through it, it does speed up your movement speed, so it's something to remember, and it does slow down the enemy, so it's a great slowing agent to use against the team. So there is that to consider. Also, your command Protect, not only does it give out a shield, but if the ball remains with an allied champion, it also gives them a little bit of bonus armor and magic resist. So you can kind of throw it on your tank. When he runs into the fight, he will get some shield out of it, and it will help him be a little bit tankier. So a few things to remember. There I picked up another kill and a triple kill there on top of it. And that's pretty much going to be this game. They're going to surrender right now. So I'll move on to the next game. So going forward, but we're at the same point in the build. I'll get into a little bit of fight here. Just try to pick up in the same place because that last game ends via surrender. I do pick up a kill on the Teemo there. No Shaco, unfortunately, this game, but we're doing fine. Gonna throw my orb in whenever I can to not only just protect my allies with shields, but always to speed them up as well, as I just stated, and all of that fun stuff. So, lots of things to consider, and like I said, once you get Athenas, you can throw your ball around a lot. You don't really need to worry, and your cooldowns are where you want them. Always refreshing faster than if you didn't have any of these items. Now, some of you may be thinking, well, I want magic penetration boots, and it's a valid point. They are good, but I'm going to deal with that later by getting a void staff late on. So don't really have to worry about that too much. And another reason I don't worry about it early on is because of the runes that I go with when I'm playing Orianna. Now, when I'm playing her, I usually go with magic penetration marks, I go with mana regen seals, and I go with AP per level glyphs and AP quintessences. That's what allows me early on to not really have to worry about building a death cap first, but Athenas, and as I said earlier, when I had just Athenas and my runes, I was at 146 AP, which is not a bad amount for having one AP item in your inventory. And it's just, it's a very nice rune page setup because also early on, if you're not able to get to Athenas too quick, you do have some bonus mana regeneration, which will help you out with not only kind of poking your enemy in lane, but it also kind of gives you the ability to command dominance while you're in lane. She's very good at outlaning people, especially once you get pretty handy with how her abilities work. She does take time to learn. She's not an instantly learned perfect champion. So have some patience when you are learning Orianna. I know a lot of people think that she's kind of overpowered. I know some people think she's underpowered, but that just kind of goes with the skill level or how used to you are with Orianna. There I used another ultimate by accident. Wow, apparently I'm great at typing. I need to make sure I hit that enter button first. But cooldown reduction with all of the stuff that I have is going to make that off a cooldown rather quick. So it's already off a cooldown. So something to remember. As for the summoner spells that I do typically take when I'm playing Orianna, I usually take Flash and Ignite. It's pretty standard stuff, and it's kind of nice to have. And then as for the Masteries page, it's pretty standard AP setup. I go with the 21, 9, and 0 setup. 21 in the offense, pick up all the AP damage and increased magic penetration there. And then in the defense, picking up a little bit more armor, magic resist, and I think some bonus health. So kind of some standard stuff there, but very, very helpful. Here we are getting into a little bit of a fight. I do get a successful ult off on about 4 of them, but we're running into Teemo shrooms and getting slowed down while they retreat. Something to run into. Another nice thing about Orianna is whenever you walk into mushrooms like that, you can just immediately shield yourself and pretty much negate all of the damage that you would have taken. Her shield is very, very strong later on. Now, returning back to the build and the items that I am going with, as you can see, after I get that Athena's Unholy Grail, I do try to build a Death Cap immediately. It is very helpful to increase my AP and to deal more damage. And then the next thing I am starting to build, which I have all the pieces for it, but not the complete item, I have that little bit of Magic Resist, I got the Sheen, and the Blasting Wand. I'm going to be building towards a Lich Bane. It's a great item, which, as we all know, it does proc after you use an ability, and your next standard attack deals bonus damage based on the amount of AP that you have. So it's very nice, and like I said, along with Orianna's already kind of very strong standard attack based off of her passive, it just does a lot of damage, and it's great to have, because you usually have a little bit of time to do some standard attacking in between her cooldowns, because she does have them still with all this cooldown reduction, but you're just way more viable to use all of your items. Here, Warwick sees me. He's actually going to jump through the wall and suppress me from here. I'm unfortunately going to have to start using all my stuff on him. Use my ultimate. I'm going to ignite him. I'm going to throw my shield on myself. I got Shen coming in, which is very nice, and we're going to be able to kill him, which is a very good thing. They did a good job at trying to get to the AP caster to try to shut her down. This game, I don't have as many kills, only 5. I haven't died though, but I do have a lot of assists. You do pick up many assists with Orianna as long as you're moving your ball around and giving assists to your teammates or speeding them up with your W. So there's lots to think about there. As for maxing out, I usually max out my W first, but I do max out my Q a close second. If you want to switch between those two, your Q and your W, it's a great way to evenly level your stuff up. Because of her early mana things not being cheap, you can use a lot of mana using Dissonance a lot early. And then I usually finish off her Protect last unless I'm getting harassed a lot early on and I need a few more points in my Protect to help me with that shield. Here, me and Lux get into an interestingly long chase. We got Warwick chasing us. He has his increased movement speed because of his one ability. There we have other things happening. I'm trying to run. I'm trying to use my speed up. Lux is trying to shield me. I'm trying to shield myself. There it comes off my W again. I'm going to speed myself up again. He's going to get slowed again, and she's going to slow with her orb. So a very long chase, speed up, slow down. But you just got to remember all these things are available to use at your utility. And luckily, I'm not going to run out of mana doing that over and over because of the Athenas. Now there I was able to buy that Lich Bane, which is going to help a lot. As you can see, I only have about 3 mana items, or 3 AP items, and I'm over 500 AP. The next thing that I will typically build finally starts to address some health. I don't worry about health too much early, because if you get to a point where I'm currently at, you do deal a lot of damage with the AP that you have, and fights usually don't last long enough for them to deal much damage to you if you're in the, kind of correct locations, and we do have a tank. And just you have to be careful with positioning with Orianna. So just all things to remember. There I put a shield on myself, took a little bit of damage, but there I also put my shield on myself again to get rid of those incredibly painful mushrooms from Teemo. There I unfortunately lagged, but it's okay. We were able to pick up Baron without me. And it's just kind of protecting, because Orianna can do that, because like I said, you can spam out your Q and then slow them with your W and all of the goodness that comes with her kit. It is fantastic to use. But Orianna is a very fun champion. I wish I played her a bit more. Maybe in Season 3 I will be playing her a bit more in ranked games. I do enjoy playing her, and I think I do a fairly good job, which is very important. I've also come to and realized a little bit that she's very, very similar, at least how I build her to Syndra a little bit, so maybe that's something to think about. I build very, very close to the same, just slightly different order, but pretty much get the same items, because they work oddly and similar but different ways. So maybe something to consider or try if you're kind of trying to think of a few things to do if you're playing her as well. So we're going to pretty much be able to wrap up this game. I'm going to keep assisting and doing what I can, get an ult off there, protect myself while I am currently tanking this tower a little bit for my team, and trying to deal all the damage I can. I pick up a bunch more assists. I got 18 assists this game and 6 kills, so even when you're not trying to be supportive, you can still come off as very supportive, but it's still rewarding because of all the assists and gold you'll still get from that. But other than that, guys, that's going to be an Orianna build. If you have any questions, put those in the comments below. But I'll just see all of you in the next build video.